Okay, so Temperance. Can't see the cards, but I think this one's not that seductive, but okay. Okay, and then the Sun. So this is here we go. So Temperance is basically talking about how we need to find balance in our lives. With this deck, the meanings are a little bit different. So this meaning, the keyword is discontent. Friendly but cool relations to be warmed up with the magic of plants. The filter of love sparks a slumbering desire and restores harmony to a relationship. So what's happening is there's a relationship that hasn't been going as smoothly as you would like it to, but things are starting to shift. And what it's saying is that the masculine is wanting to express their feelings to the Scorpio, or the person the Scorpio is involved with wants to express their feelings to their person. And they're trying to figure out how they want to go about doing this. So they're basically like hesitant. Like they're like, oh, okay, like I need to make sure that, you know, I'm ready and I know what to say. And it's sort of like a sneak attack. Like you're not going to know, you're not going to expect it. You are, but you aren't. You always think that you know, and we always try to know. And then when it does happen, we're like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe that this just happened. Like, so, and then this one here says habit. So basically this dynamic has been going on for quite some time. And the reason why that this dynamic has been going on is because you guys were spiritually growing and evolving. So if anyone wants a private reading after this, they're $13. Okay, now I'm going to switch to these cards. Thank you, Spirit, for these supportive messages for Scorpio. Today is a Scorpio new moon. So Scorpio season, things are super intense, but in a good way. I feel as though if you're really embracing and allowing this energy to work with you, then you're gonna find great benefit after this time period has, after we've gone through this time period. You know, and it can be very uncomfortable right now because we're doing a lot of purging. Scorpio is connected to the tarot card Death, and the Death card represents rebirth and transformation. So what's happening is we're clearing away, we're putting an end to relationships, jobs, situations that are limiting us, that are unhealthy, that are preventing us from moving forward in a positive direction. Scorpio. So what it comes down to is the mind. Here you go, the Ten of Swords. So basically the Ten of Swords is like, it's been an accumulation of many things that have got you to this point. So if you have a belief that was developed from being a child, such as, you know, like if you have insecurities or You know, you've seen your parents like in unhealthy relationships, or, you know, let's say your mom was like a serial dater and she's like always having boyfriends. Then what happens is over a course of time, all of those beliefs develop into us, and then that's how we go about our life. That's the approach we take based on what we were taught. So right now, Scorpio, it's about your mind. Yep, here we go. It's all about your mind right now. You create your reality. Okay, so like I'm feeling like it's... Okay, here we go. So this is the air energy. Air, you could be dealing with an air sign. So that's Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So this is having logical thinking, being very clear and direct, more about, you know, what makes sense versus the heart, right? Okay, and then right here is this is the heart. So it's like after this period of introspection, both you and your other person are having this introspection. Hi Queen. And so basically, this is, you know, what's happening is you're having this eye-opening experience. You can hear the sirens going by. So what's the main, what does Scorpio need to know here? This is deep, deep healing right now. This is about you learning how to speak how you're feeling without getting overly emotional, without being impulsive or spiteful, you know, being calm in the way you approach your relationships. So sometimes, because Scorpio is a very passionate energy, and they care very deeply, and they're very intuitive, and they're very loyal and very committed when they're in a relationship. Sometimes what happens is we attract people, because of our childhood programmings, we attract people who are not on the same wavelength. We're attracting what we don't want versus what we do want based on our subconscious programming. So if you've only known one thing, then that's the only thing that you're going to be familiar with. So right now it's like, okay, if you've only known relationships where it was dysfunctional and unbalanced, abusive relationships, then that's what you would be most comfortable with. And when things are good, then it's like, this doesn't seem right. But what's happening is you're starting to see things. You're starting to set boundaries, and you're starting to understand the importance of being balanced. And because you're tired of being in the darkness, you want passion, excitement, happiness. Here, also the transformation, as I was saying with Scorpio. So right now it's like, okay, looking at where you're at from your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual self. Where are you? Okay. Are you grounded? Are you over communicating? Are you communicating from a place of unbalanced emotions? Are you being needy? You know, I feel like somebody here is a divine feminine who's unbalanced. So that means that they're insecure and they're projecting their insecurities onto their other person. They're wanting their person to assure them that they have feelings for them, and that this relationship's real, and you know that it's true. But this isn't going to work. This won't work in the long run. This is just a belief that has it's turned into a habit. So it's like, okay, it's time to put an end to this, Because what could happen a lot of times, it's like you build this relationship and then it crashes to the ground. You build and then it crashes. You build and it crashes, and it just continues and continues and continues. So what it comes down to is like, okay, I'm gonna get grounded. I'm gonna be clear in my mind. I'm gonna start reshifting my focus, being mindful of my thoughts, being mindful whether or not I'm speaking from a place of lack, from fear, from worries, anxiety, insecurities. Where are my thoughts? Where are my beliefs coming from? So this is all in your mind. All this is in your mind. But because you're so intuitive, sometimes you're like, but I just know that something's not right. I just know. And then you just continue to focus on what you think you know, even though you don't know. Maybe you do know, but why would you continue to tell yourself something that you don't know? You could do that, or you can be like, I can tell myself something different. You could tell yourself something different. So here, like, it's like, they're like this is very, like, he's holding her and they're just really comfortable in each other's arms. And it's like, okay, so somebody has feelings for someone, but then they're like wanting to express them. But then at the same time, it's like there's this fear. So, yeah, there's a fear of conflict. It's a fear that the person's going to leave you. If you express how you're feeling, that they're going to leave you, that this relationship isn't going to happen. So, yeah, this is the card I began this reading. I know I want those spicy cards too, but I can't show them on here. Okay, so here, same thing. It's like all of these thoughts, everything's coming to head, or that's in the development, right? Somebody feels stuck, someone feels trapped. It's too much of a good thing. Overthinking, that's what's happening. It's overthinking, okay? 100%, that's what's going on. So let's reestablish our thoughts here, okay? So here we go. This is communication. This is about balance. This is what you want. You want commitment. You want partnership. You want connection. You want your person to hold you closely. You want somebody to express how they're feeling. So what you need to do, the sun. So I love how this card talks, the message of this card. Fusion, fascination. The eye is the mirror of the soul and creates with the magic of thought. If partners suggest happy images to each other, the couple reaches a state of union and lasting splendor. Okay, so that can be very difficult to do when you're caught in a headspace. So that's why it's like the first step is acknowledging where you're at. Okay, and sometimes we have the denial. I feel like somebody in here if you're a Scorpio, has denial. And it's like, well, no, like I'm just telling them how I feel, or, But it's like, if they're not reciprocating or they're not expressing how they're feeling, then something isn't quite in alignment, right? If you were feeling comfortable and relaxed, you wouldn't be having these challenges. So right now it's about getting balanced. So it begins with the physical body. The physical, it all comes down to mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. So when we go straight to the physical, it allows us to ground all of these thoughts, all this scatteredness, this chaoticness. So that's why it's so important to exercise. It's important to get outside, to be connected to nature, for breathing, deep breathing. These sort of things will help alleviate you know, that anxiety, that fear. And then also just like sitting down and be like, okay, what are the thoughts? What are the main things that I keep telling myself? You know, he doesn't care about me. He doesn't love me. You know, he's lying to me, da, 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 da. And so just write that down. And then it's like shift it, you know, like I am a highly desirable woman or man. I am, you know, I am so amazing. Like the I am statements are always very helpful, but you really, really want to get into your body, right? It's like you can tell yourself the same thing over and over and over, but if you don't believe it, then it's not going to integrate. You look for, do I know you? No, I lived in Saskatoon for 5 years. Okay, so it's just a habit. That's what this card talks about. It's a habit. Okay, so that's what the new moon right now today is, the new moon in Scorpio. So Scorpio is saying, okay, it's time to reestablish new beliefs. This is a new moon. The new moons are about setting intentions. It's about planting a seed. And so what do you want? Like, how do you envision your relationship, your ideal relationship? How do you envision it? Do you envision it so that you're actually looking, you know, face to face? Like here, it's like somebody is rejecting the energy. Somebody's rejecting it. But it's like what's happening partially is that your subconscious mind is operating and it keeps telling you the same story. And even if that person wanted to express to you how they're feeling, chances are you wouldn't fully receive it. You wouldn't integrate that. So here we go. So this is about setting your intention, the planting of a seed. So over the next month, this is going to be a very, very important time to really establish these new patterns, these new habits. And this is a very important time for healing. So maybe somebody is being dishonest, but you have the choice whether or not you want to stay in this relationship, right? Why, you know, if they are being dishonest, why would you want to be with them? But it's like if you keep telling yourself the same story, oh, they're lying, you know, they don't love me, they don't want me, then that's what you're going to have. You're going to have that same outcome. So mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual balance.